is the Dumball Rally, the world's ultimate intercontinental driving adventure. Over 100 madcap motorists take cars that have seen better days.
If you're very lucky, you get one that's got some tread on the tyres.
And drive them as far as they can in just 1 week.
We were tempted to drive it home, but we couldn't afford the fuel. It's done at least a tank a day.
All to raise awareness and funds for the Teenage Cancer Trust.
It's all for a fantastic cause.
Each team takes an old banger of their choice, pimps it up and then drives it to a far-flung place.
I declare Odessa open to Dumball.
Now in its 10th year, the Dumball Banger Rally has covered over 11,500 miles. They've conquered Europe.
We're going to Budapest today.
Russia.
Bloody cows.
And India.
So this is like driving in Sicily, Istanbul and Kosovo all together.
Bringing chaos and carnage wherever they go. And now, we're going to take a look back at some of the daftest moments from the rally's 10-year history. Welcome to the Dumball Rally, dumbest of the dumb. Now, this isn't just an endurance race. There is an element of competition. Not to cross the finish line first, no, that would be predictable, but to complete a series of daft challenges set every day en route. The team with the most points at the end of the journey win a highly revered Idiot's Cup. Let's have a look and see what mad missions we've set our drivers. More often than not, the challenges involve the Dumballers getting involved with the locals. And on the Indian Rally, we tasked the teams to squeeze as many of their squadron into a traditional tuk-tuk. We've immediately gone headfirst into the tuk-tuk challenge. We just got the girls to flag over one guy, but he was actually taking somebody somewhere for a tariff. He's a taxi. This guy, he's down for it.
We can get 10. Let's try 10 and take it from there.
If you put one foot up on there and you hold onto the rail, it's quite stressful, but it's fun. The Black Squadron were taking the challenge very seriously, opting to try and fit their team into a standard 3-seater tuk-tuk. Well done! Well done! See, that's all the team, right? Is that all of us?
That's the entire team.
That's the entire Black Squadron in there. Give them a round of applause! But the Red Squadron had come up with a clever plan.
Let's get everyone, we need to know numbers. Brilliant, thank you. Thank you, let's go.
They'd flagged down a capacious, flat-bedded model.
Come on, manager.
How many have we got? Yes! Come on! This is how the Red Squadron do it. 29, 30, 31, 34, 35, 36, 37. You got the counter driver? 39.
For squeezing all 39 members of their squadron onto the tuk-tuk, they picked up some serious points.
Hello, my friends.
But the black team weren't done yet. They were going for some bonus points by completing a section of the journey in one of these traditional taxis. Yeah, all right. The eagle is moving. Repeat, the eagle is moving. There's a goat.
How many people are inside of the
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, including the driver, 8. I think this took you a ride to find the meaning of invading someone's personal space. Oh, I'm gonna pull out onto the street. Ah, I love it. But with the performance of the tuk-tuk somewhat limited by the weight of 8 complete idiots, if we wanted to get to the hotel before midnight, we were probably best getting back into the trusty old Ambassadors. Oh, thank you very much. It's perfect. In 2012, when the rally passed through Macedonia, the orange convoy got completely lost. But they decided to make the most of their detour by trying to complete the day's challenge. We'd asked them to try and blag a freebie from one of the locals. And so Richard from Team El Presidente attempted to get some free stuff from the owner of this restaurant.
That? It's not particularly Bulgarian. Can I have your map? Map?
Да,
Yeah?
да си го вземеш ли искаш?
Can I take in the
Да си я
car?
носиш.
All of it off.
Давам ти я, носи я.
Yeah.
Хайде.
The team walked away with challenge points and a much required map.
Beautiful.
Чао.
Ciao. Ciao, ciao.
If only they knew how to read it.
She's pointed out where we're supposed to be going, but it's in Bulgarian and I can't remember. Well, they said down there and then...
The next day in Bulgaria, we asked the teams to make human pyramids on their route, topped off by a willing local resident. The Orange Convoy had been plagued by a series of serious breakdowns that day, but they used their time wisely by building an amazing 8-human pyramid. But not all the stupidity comes from the challenges that we set. Sometimes the Dumballers manage to find themselves in sticky situations all by themselves. On the very first day of the Indian Rally, Sierra, who had travelled from California, had a little shock when she realised all the cars were manual.
So just off the gas. I don't know what to do! You're not telling me!
She very quickly had to try and master the use of a clutch and a gear stick through the slightly angry guidance of instructor Krish.
The clutch.
I don't know what to do!
Yeah, now slow, go slow. Second gear. No. Yeah. Remove the clutch. Oh,
But her driving lesson was short-lived.
Do you want to drive back?
of course. Otherwise, I will lose this vehicle, yeah.
Do you want to turn around?
No, I will drive.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But it wasn't all bad news. Sierra quickly realised that she had an extraordinary skill at being a passenger, and she used this special skill all the way to Goa. On the 2007 rally in Romania, Team Ghostbusters tried their hand at attracting some birds into their car.
Well, we're trying to get hold of a chicken, a cockerel.
But they soon realised they were being outsmarted by the hens.
Towards the car and hope it'll go in. Hopefully it'll go in.
Because our dare is to find an animal and put it in the car and take a photo of it. Obviously we can't do this because they're impossible to catch.
I'm mocking you, I laugh at you.
We were a bit reluctant to do it anyway because of bird flu in Romania.
Probably not such a good idea then to pick up birds.
No, maybe not such a good idea.
Maybe let's give the chickens a miss then.
What a clucking waste of time that was. And 2007 wasn't the only year that animals took the Dumballers for a ride. Check out this Bulgarian donkey. But it was in 2016 that the animals really had the last laugh, when wild monkeys distracted the Lost Car Keys team so much they did something really stupid.
The lost car keys. Key is in the car.
Just to recap, everybody. So you were the first people to ruin your car. You've lost your voice. What else happened? There was something
We lost the radios yesterday.
Lost the walkie-talkie radios, and now a fourth thing of you sort of haven't lost the keys. You know exactly where they are.
Oh man.
Probably should keep them back. It's a nice place to do it.
Because they asked, yeah.
Unless the tiger turns up.
Fortunately, the owner of the lost car keys car happened to be a member of the support team.
Let me just tell the owner I've locked the keys in the car.
This is going to be hashtag.
Yeah. Hello. The keys. Where is key? In the car. No, it's It's locked.
No problem.
Do you have a spare key? I have a spare key. Hey! We have a spare key! Because the driver's here!
Far less awkward than I was expecting.
God, I think I got off easily with that one, didn't I?
Was close.
Finally, I thought we'd wrap up this section with this lovely moment from 2012 when Team Spider-Man were given their own car as a Christmas present. How random.
It's a car! It's a car! It's a car! It's a car! Oh, look!
And it's got stuff in it. Loads of stuff.
Coming up, scrapping.
In 20 days, you will not come here to pick you up your car, right? The car is mine, I can throw it.
Sadness.
The car did really well, and now we're going to scrap it. It doesn't seem fair.
And celebrations. Welcome back to the Dumball Rally, dumbest of the dumb. On a banger rally, no one's invincible, and even though the routes take the drivers on some of the greatest and most picturesque roads in the world, sometimes that can take its toll on the cars, and they get a bit broken. In 2012, I was super excited to finally hitch a lift with one of the most impressive rides on the rally, a long-wheel-based Volvo that had been lovingly transformed from a funeral car into a typically British narrowboat.
It was going to be broken and we saved it for one last journey. So we decided the inside of it had seen a lot of sorrow, we'd make a party boat out of it, so it'd have one last happy journey. Complete with working fridge, hi-fi, glass holders.
We're looking through portholes, they're not windows anymore, they're portholes of course. And the locals are finding it quite interesting.
I wanted to do a boat last year, I was overruled by these guys. So this year I got him really drunk and then asked if he'd wanted to do a boat, drew a little picture, and we all decided it was a great idea.
I mean, this was not done overnight, was it?
No, it was done over lots of nights, late nights, 2 in the morning. I think that lots of stressing and bickering. We actually did everything we wanted to do though, so we were quite happy at the end of it.
But it wasn't plain sailing getting the canal boat to the Ukraine. In fact, it got a bit smelly.
Our car is making a quite bad smell. We need to pull over and see what it is. Quite bad smell generally, over.
At the petrol station, the boat's architect looked worried.
Tom, what's the problem then?
We're getting really, really hot brakes, so I'm just going to try and jack it up, put it in neutral and try and spin the wheel to see if the caliper's freeing off.
I think we'll be all right.
I really want the barge to make it.
The barge has to make it. I'm going to go out of my way to make sure this car arrives.
Can someone keep an eye on that jack and see if it starts moving?
It's amazing what you can get done when no one speaks the same language.
You good? Go for it.
The fear was that the brakes could have melted, meaning certain death for the boat.
Fine. Guys, it's all right.
Really?
It's just Alper's driving.
It is
just Alper's driving.
It really is. He trail braking everywhere?
He's just a nightmare.
Has he ever driven an automatic?
He's got an automatic.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Luckily, it was just a case of over-enthusiastic braking from the captain of this barge.
I should think there's quite a lot of drag on this when you back off the throttle. It sort of brakes itself to a certain extent. Remember, boats don't actually have brakes. They just put it into reverse, don't they? Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
In 2012, the rally passed over the Swiss Alps, where the steep mountain roads took their first casualty, the pink, hip-hop themed Citroën.
Put a little bit of gas on it to catch up, and then dropped down to second gear, all looking good. Then when it hit first gear, didn't look so good. Big bang, a lot of noises, and no power, and no engine.
The drivers had to arrange for it to be scrapped with the emergency mechanic they'd called.
End of this Dumball car for this year.
Well, look, I think we should take your sound system and your
But getting rid of a car in Switzerland ain't cheap.
£210 lovely pounds to get rid of this.
And in 20 days you will not come here to pick you up your car, right? The car is mine, I can throw it. Okay?
You can do what you want with it.
Good.
You can take it bang on racing.
Neil had just a few precious moments to say goodbye to his trusty Citroën.
Sleep tight. Bit emotional. It's tough. I spent a lot of time in that car. It's heartbreaking it didn't make it to Odessa. And the final women of Odessa didn't get to see the beauty, the marvel behind the spirit of Monkey Island. But we will live on. Got to turn the camera. Dumball 2012, we will be back. Much love.
So, I leave.
It's been quite an emotional, long journey, over 750 miles since we left Brighton 24 hours ago. There have been some casualties of war.
But it wasn't the only car to bite the dust on that day in Switzerland. The Spitfire-themed Saab also ran into problems when it suddenly lost a lot of fluid.
It's not good. We got a coolant warning on the motorway, and then we noticed a huge trail of water coming out behind us.
The Spitfire's only hope was Danny, the rally's most skilled and experienced mechanic.
If it's dead, it's dead. You've got a old family pet. We might have to put it down.
We've got a lot of cars with tow bars, though.
I'm going to tow it to Odessa.
Hey.
But what do Saabs and World War II planes have in common? Well, they're both impossible to fix when you don't have the right parts.
The Saab isn't going to continue, is it?
We haven't got the tools or the facilities to fix it here. If it was back in the workshop, we could put it back together, but...
I'm really sad for you, because it's a cool car.
Yeah.
It's a cool car.
It's one of these things, it's not the end of the Dumball, it's just the end of the Saab.
But if it was any consolation, at the end of the Eastern European Rally, all of the cars went the same way as the Citroën and Saab. It was the hardest part of the week, saying goodbye to their trusty chariots.
It's emotional. It's come a long way. It's done us proud, and leave it to scrap it.
We've just had it for so long, and painting it and decorating it and looking after it, and now it's just going. It's sad because the car did really well, and now we're going to scrap it. It doesn't seem fair.
We had christened it, and we've decorated the inside along the way, and had our hitchhikers and passengers, and it's just been really emotional.
I need some alone time now, so I'm just going over there while I...
For the boys on the barge, it was a particularly hard goodbye.
We were tempted to drive it home, but we couldn't afford the fuel. It's done at least a tank a day.
But as it turned out, it was lucky they didn't attempt to drive it home.
All the lights are on the dash. We're broken. We're not going to make it.
The narrowboat just about made it into the scrapyard. However, not everyone was sorry to see their cars go to the crusher.
I'm knackered. I'm completely knackered. And I'm dirty, and I'm wearing the same underpants for like 4 days. So, yeah, I might go and have a shower, but yeah. Cheers.
So this is it. This really is the end of the line. The cars that our competitors lovingly chose, decorated, and then drove all the way over here to the Ukrainian. They've parked them here, they've taken some little mementos, prized a badge off, said their little goodbyes to these vehicles, and they've walked away. It is genuinely, it's quite upsetting.
And the last car to enter the scrapyard belonged to its driver's father, who had died just 2 weeks before they left Brighton.
I couldn't do it, I couldn't leave it.
It's in the past.
Yeah.
You've got to move on.
Yeah.
Things can't be taken in your memories.
That's true.
But it's not all sadness and sorrow, because if the Dumballers know one thing, it's how to have a ruddy good party. Sometimes they party on the road.
Coming off at 9.3 miles, Rich. We're gonna make it! We're gonna make it! We're gonna make it! We're gonna make it! Thank God! Thank God we're gonna make it. Thank God.
Sometimes they party at ferry ports. Basically, any excuse, especially when they make it to the end of the road.
So, our road running heroes are now arriving at the special final awards ceremony where the great and the good will be honoured, and everyone will now have the most deserved party of their lives.
So I had $2 for every time I go. I'd be a millionaire today. Maybe even $1 for every bit of bad luck. I'd be a millionaire, a gosh darn billionaire. No, it don't work like that, so I'll take off my hat.
So that's it for this episode of Dumbest of the Dumb. And what a colourful 10-year history it has been. I've been Johnny Smith. I always will be. See you next time.